Hi, I'm JH, and in this video I'll be discussing about the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix, the 9th round of the 2022 F1 season. Please note that everything I said is based on facts and of course my own opinion. So, without further ado, let's start the video. First of all, let's see some of the news that's been going on before the race. Well, let's just say the quali session is quite unique. Anyway, Charles and Tsunoda started from the back due to power unit change, and Mazepin seems to believe that he can return to F1. Seriously? I'm pretty sure your name is on the last on team's list of potential drivers. If you're on the list at all. I mean, other than your dad's money, what do you bring to the table compared to the others? Anyway, let's get to their performances. I'd say it's a pretty nice result considering where they qualified. Sainz had a chance to win the race, closing in Verstappen late on the race, but well, in the end he failed but still managed to get P2 and fastest lap. Charles had a great recovery race after starting P19. Well, he did got stuck in the midfield DRS train for some time and made an error at the battle with Ocon, but you can't say finishing P5 after starting P19 is a bad performance. So overall, I think it's an excellent performance by Ferrari. I know I can't trust Lewis when he said that the car is a disaster on free practice. Despite getting nowhere near Max and Sainz after safety car, he still managed to finish P3 with no major errors. As for George, he's extending his top 5 finish streak this season, and he had a few good overtakes as well as didn't make any stupid mistakes, finishing P4 in the end. So yeah, I think Mercedes will be quite happy with the result. In the early stage of the race, it seems to be a comfortable worry-free race for Verstappen, but at the late stage, especially after the safety car, Sainz began to catch up and Max had to defend pretty hard. He ended up getting the win as well as still leading the Drivers' Championship. On the other side, Checo had a horrible race, with him retiring in lap 9 due to gearbox issue. Overall, Red Bull is still leading the drivers and constructors with a pretty large gap, so it's not that bad I guess. They had a phenomenal quali session with Alonso in P2 and Ocon in P7. On the race however, Alonso seems to be struggling after got passed by Sainz. He also had an engine problem in the latter stage as well as getting a 5-second penalty because of weaving in straight. He ended up finishing P9, which is quite disappointing, especially considering where he started. Ocon on the other hand did very well, even holding up Leclerc for some time and forced him to make a mistake. Later he also helped Alonso to get DRS before the stewards told him to back off, and well, he finished P6, which is a great result for the French team. Bottas had a decent race, although he was behind Zhou for most of the time before the safety car, but after Alonso's 5-second penalty, he got up to P7. Zhou had a very strong race, overtaking some cars in the race, made no fatal errors, and finally had no technical issues. He ended up finishing P8 after Alonso's penalty. Overall, I think it's a pretty decent result for the team. Let's be real, they had a bad quali session as well as an average race during the first half, especially on the hard tire. But after Lance switched to mediums, he seems to be doing well, finishing P10 after starting P17. Vettel also struggled in quali and on the race did quite okay even with the safety car problem and a unique early pit strategy. Anyway, he finished outside of the points at P12. A bad weekend for the McLaren drivers. Both Daniel and Lando finished outside of the points, and the horror double stack just add even more to their misery. Overall, it's a weekend to forget for the team. I think Albon had a decent race. At one point he even got into the points after Checo's retirement, but understandably unable to hold position. Ended up finishing P13. Latifi on the other hand did well, nothing. He got P16 out of 17 cars that finished, which is not really a surprise there. Terrible performance for Red Bull's sister team, especially after their Baku result. Gasly pitted on lap 6 for hards but can't really gain position on the race. Tsunoda had a chance to score points but made a costly error and hit the barrier after a tire change. Horrible result for the AlphaTauris. God, this team can't catch a break. After a fantastic quali session in which Kevin and Mick qualified P5 and P6 respectively, things seems to go downhill from there. Magnussen had a front wing damage and received a black and orange flag that requires him to pit and seems to be having problem after that, finishing P17. Mick got passed by a few cars on the early laps, and after lap 19 he was forced to retire after an engine issue. Terrible weekend for the American team. My best driver for this race is Leclerc because of his amazing damage limitation after the power unit change. Here are the standings after the 9th round. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, please share, like and subscribe. See you in the next video, and yeah, have a nice day.